Today, you'll learn how to find viral ideas for your gaming videos. So by the end, you'll be equipped to 10x your views. Tip number 6 will totally change the game for you. Let's get started with the first one. The difference between good and great. So YouTube is full of good ideas, but there's a lack of great ones. But a great idea is actually worth 10 good ideas. So what I want you to do is say no to good ideas so you can say yes to great ones. Great ideas require more work up front, but they make everything else far easier on the back end. So what is a great idea? A great idea is defined by being a 5 to 10x outlier, and there is 3 or more examples of this idea working for different channels that are similar in niche or channel size in terms of subscribers to you. A good way to think about good versus great ideas might be standard versus premium fuel in your car. If you put standard fuel into your car, you're not going to get the performance that you could achieve with premium. Here is a good idea that a client of mine has done, and this got more views than usual. You can see the view graph here, and it is talking about the character that he plays, Sage, having a new technique in the game. But a great idea is we had the viewers submit their techniques with this character called Sage, and then he would rank them, and this video got over 1 million views. And you can see that a great idea is truly worth almost 10 of those good ideas. So tip number 2 is talking about the importance of ideas. Everything derives from the idea, whether that be the title, the thumbnail, the intro, the content, or the editing. If the idea is not inherently in demand, it's going to be unlikely to work, and it's not going to be considered a great idea. A great idea is not a great idea because you think it's a great idea. A great idea is a great idea because other people think it's a great idea. So it all comes back to the viewer. And if the idea doesn't immediately cause you to remark, then it's unlikely to do the same for the audience. Therefore, it's really not that great. Only remarkable ideas are great, and they are ideas that evoke that immediate reaction that is strong and powerful. You or everyone on your team can try really hard to get views and to drive more revenue, but if none of that effort is put into the idea of the video, then your efforts are mostly wasted. And this is where I want to introduce to you the 80-20 principle and how this actually applies to ideas. The 80-20 principle states that for many outcomes, roughly 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. Or in other words, 80% of the results come from 20% of the inputs. 80% of people live in 20% of the cities. 80% of the cities are only in 20% of the land. We see this principle all the time in nature, and this really applies to ideas because you want to put 80% of the work that you put into a video into the idea, because the idea is the 20% of the inputs that actually gets 80% of the results. Someone who really understands the importance of ideas is Matt Beam. He was making really cool and interesting videos, but if we scroll back in time, we can see, like, at this current present moment, he gets millions of views per video, but before this, he was making some not great videos. Just, they were good, but they weren't great. But immediately once he implemented the importance of ideas, we can see that it went from 500K, 250K, 6.3 million, 4.3 million, 2.9 million. And a lot of this was getting 10 times, 20 times more views than he was getting before this. So now we're going to discuss 3 strategies that you can use to find great ideas. And the first one, which is tip number 3, is going to be the hunter strategy. Think about ancient times when men had to hunt their food. They'd leave early in the day, stock it for many days on end, and actually kill it and bring it back to the village for everyone to feast. And we can find ideas like this too. You put all your time and energy into getting 1, maybe 2 great ideas, and you must repeat this process for every idea that you do. Now, the advantage of this is that you find an amazingly great idea that you can work on right away. But the disadvantage is that you must repeat this every single time, and it requires a lot of focus and energy concentrated during one period of time. So I recommend this if you're just getting started, or you want to supplement your ideation on top of the other processes or strategies that we're going to talk about. An example of this is called On-Screen. Well known in CSGO, and then he had started playing Valorant when it came out, and you can see his views are really low. It's like some of the videos don't get 1,000 views. And so I was hunting for a viral idea, and I looked at this esports brand. They had a Valorant channel. They had a guide that was called like the fastest way to get XP or something like this, and it had 20,000 views. Typically they were getting 1,000 views. So this was a 20x outlier. And so what I did is I made a guide video for On-Screen about this. In their video, it was saying 15,000 per hour. And so I knew if we do 20,000, our video could get even more views. So I told him to do that. We crafted this packaging, and as you can see, his average views is less than 1,000, and we got 300,000. Tip number 4 is called the gatherer strategy. I want you to think about ancient times when women gathered food from the wilderness. While the men were hunting the meats or the animals, they were in the wilderness gathering berries or these things. They'd leave in the morning or for an afternoon, and they'd be back before dinner with berries and other natural foods from the forest. It wasn't the juicy meats, but it was still viable nutrition. We can find ideas like this too. You can block your time and energy into getting about 100 ideas. Some of the ideas are going to be bad, some are going to be good, and some are going to be great. So you sift out everything that's not great. You might need to create a criteria, or what I would call a short list. It's recommended that you get feedback before proceeding with your ideas, because you definitely want to get someone else's opinion. And it's possible that you could gather 0 great ideas. So the advantage of this is that it takes less time, you find more ideas, and there's more serendipity for mixing ideas. But the disadvantage is the ideas might not be great, and it might tempt you into settling for a good idea. So you have to be very disciplined if you're gathering. I recommend this if you've already established some viral concepts that work for you and you want to explore new ideas or ways to mix ideas. It's also good practice if you just want to look at a lot of ideas and start to get a sense of what's good, what's bad, and what is actually great. For Rob's channel, we typically make these Yuru videos, and a lot of it is gameplay clips, and so we're not having these big viral ideas that can go get millions of views, but we do gather a lot of ideas to try to find stuff that we can use to improve our existing ideas and packaging and stuff. And so we were trying to make a guide video, and I saw this idea of 100 tips. It had gotten millions of views for 3 to 4 channels, and it was a 10x outlier, 20x outlier for those channels. We used this concept for the guide, 100 tips, and we adjusted it to our niche, and it's working really well. It's got 43,000 views, which is about double what we normally get, and it's on one of those trajectories where it just goes straight up. So this video will likely hit 100,000 views. Third strategy for finding ideas is called farming. Instead of thinking about ancient times, I want you to think about modern times. We farm everything, so it's easy, convenient, and we can do it at massive scale with the least amount of inputs possible. Basically, it's automated foods for hundreds of millions of people, and we can find ideas like this too. So ask yourself this question: what are great ideas that we can automatically do? This could be game updates that you know have viral potential, or it could be using a program to identify 1 out of 10 videos, or you could even hire someone to do the prior 2 methods for you. Basically, how can you farm the ideas with no work? The advantage to this is that there's 0 marginal increase in work to gather the idea. The disadvantage is that it's time consuming and resource intensive to actually set up. So the work goes into setting it up, but once it's set up, it's like a farm. I recommend this if you have healthy cash flows on your channel and your channel is operationalized in regard to the strategy, editing, and design. This is for channels that make money and view themselves as a business and want to grow into a bigger business. My client Grim, he has a main channel, and each time there's a new update or a new skin that releases in the game that's really popular, he makes a video on it because he knows there's going to be a lot of people looking for that type of content, and you can see that it does quite well for him. This is a gaming highlights channel, and you can see that they're getting millions of views. And if we take this to the next level, there was someone who's very similar to him that he was inspired by that was doing this, and you can see every video has millions of views similarly. And his most popular ones are some of the most viewed highlight videos in the entire gaming space. Now let's talk about methods. 5 different methods that you can use to actually go get these ideas. The first one is 1 out of 10. If we use Minecraft, for example, we can look at Minecraft videos that are outliers. This one right here, this person averages 466 views, and this video got 117,000. So this is a really great tool. There's a filter for the ideas, and I highly recommend it. I'll link it in the description if you're interested. You can click my affiliate link and check it out. For the next one, it's called vidIQ keyword research. So you can type in vidIQ extension here and then click the first link. You want to install it. And when you install it, it's going to have this little thing at the top of your YouTube. So you'll click it and then you can go to the keyword inspector. So if I wanted to look at ideas in Minecraft, I could type in Minecraft, and you can see here that there's a lot of different keywords. But the one that we want to look at is the overall score. And we want to look for things that have high search volume, but very low or low competition. But another thing you can do is just type in the keyword and then click view count and look at the videos that are getting a lot of views and try to pay attention to the recency. You wouldn't want to copy a video that was done 3 years ago, but if it was recent, perhaps it could be a viral trend. Another method that I like to use is the incognito method, which is we open an incognito window. We go to YouTube. Let's watch a Mr. Beast video, for example. So this is the latest Mr. Beast video. What you want to do is pause the video, and then you want to look at the suggested videos on the side. And what I tried to do is only click thumbnails that catch my eye. So this one caught my eye. And what I will do is just take notes on everything that I click on, whether it be what I thought was interesting about the thumbnail, or what the title of the video is, or what the video is actually about. And so I'll just repeat this, and I may do this for like an hour or 2 hours. And what you'll discover is amazing. You would have never realized had you not done this in incognito, because essentially what you're doing is you're becoming a viewer and you're looking at ideas the way that a viewer would. Another one that I like to do is create a YouTube and subscribe to all my competitors and then analyze my subscription tab. So I have this one for Valorant. I've subscribed to every major creator in this space. So all I need to do is click subscription, and then I can scroll through and see everything that people are doing and see what's trending, what's getting more views than usual. So this is a great method, especially if you're focused on one game or one specific niche, and it can just give you a quick insight into what's good, what's bad, and perhaps this could lead you in the direction of using some of the other methods to find the great ideas, so on and so forth. Now, the final one that I will point out to you is looking at similar channels in other niches and remixing their outliers. Let's say that you're an Apex Legends creator, then you might want to look at Fortnite content. Fortnite and Apex are both battle royale games, so they're very similar. So what I'll do is I'll try to find a viral idea for you really quick. The one gold chest challenge that Moore Lachlan did 1 month ago got 1.4 million views. You could easily do this in Apex Legends because they have chests and they also have gold items. So if you are able to identify this as a viral trend, you could use this in the other game and kind of remix it to make it more suited for Apex Legends. Final tip number 7, which is proof. Feelings can be deceiving when it comes to thinking an idea is great. So we must always provide proof that our idea is great or that it goes viral. If the idea has not worked multiple times on the same channel or different channels, it's highly likely to not be a trend. So we want to pre-validate an idea, and we must do that by looking for channels that are similar size to us and similar audiences or in a similar appeal. Another way to prove the idea, if the channel is not similar in size or appeal, is to observe it being used on more than 3 channels and being a 5 to 10x outlier or more every time. Then you might be able to adapt it to your niche, but the risk is higher. This trend called How I Would Relearn Coding. And this is a super viral trend in the coding niche, and you can see it goes viral very many times. So my client Rob, he did this on his channel and called it How I Would Learn Yuru If I Had to Start Over. And it almost has 500,000 views. And you can see that it was a 19x outlier. So it can work if they're not similar to you, but the appeal needs to be similar. The closer the channels doing the videos are to you in size and audience, the more likely the idea will work for you. Just because Mr. Beast did it and 1,000 Mr. Beast clones did it does not mean that it will work for you or that's even a viral trend in the first place. People copying each other looks like a trend, but it's just people copying each other. A trend can only be identified if the videos routinely go viral by getting 5 to 10 times more views than the channel average. One of the viral ideas that I hunted down was every kill equals worst keyboard, and I did it with Candy Roo. Our goal was 100,000 views, and you can see here that we are closing in on 400,000. There's so many examples of this video going viral in a game that is similar in Fortnite. It's just ridiculous. There's so many. That is so much proof, right? And so I had a strong conviction that this idea might work for us, and it helped us get 4 times more views than our average. So that's how to find viral ideas that can get you 10 times more views on your channel. If you need help with any of the things discussed in this video, be sure to join our Discord linked in the description below and watch this video next.